Hi, folks. This is Rick Emmett of Triumph.
This is Mark Merrill, also known as Johnny B. Bad.
Hi, this is a best-selling author. I threw the best-selling in there. Best-selling author Dick Wybrow.
I'm Melanie from Second Shooter.
This is Jeff with Second Shooter.
Hey everybody, it's Brian Allen from Bridges Ablaze.
Hey, this is Sammy Lee, drummer of the band Red Rain.
Yo guys, it's Mark McKay.
Hey, this is Frank Fletcher.
Hola amigos, this is Billy Sheehan.
Hey guys, this is John Karabi.
Hi, this is Jim Valance.
What's up everybody, it's Logan from All the Pretty Things.
Hey guys, it's Leather Leone.
This is Nothing from Inside the Trojan Horse.
What's up guys, Cassandra Carson here from Paralandra and the L.I.F.E Project.
My name's Reggie and you are listening to the Weekly Pour podcast. Thanks so much for joining the most amazing twosome out there.
It's time once again for the Weekly Pour, the show that knows everything about absolutely nothing. Here are your hosts, TBT and Ace.
We're back. We are back. Welcome to episode 187 of the Weekly Pour podcast. I am TBT. That guy over there is Ace with his Night Ranger 1987 sleeveless shirt on. If you were watching us live...
4.
I was close. I said 87. If you are watching us live on YouTube's right now, be sure to hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and say something in the chat so we know you're here. Yeah. It's been a week. We had an impromptu vacation last week.
Yeah. I apologize. That was a calamity.
We should make this week a vacation as well, because I walked outside and I immediately felt and figured out what it was like to be a rotisserie chicken.
Right. You cooked.
Yeah.
Did you spin?
I did, because I wanted to see if it felt the same on my ass as it did on my face.
And?
It did. It did.
Okay.
You know, what do you do? What do you do? But yeah, it's hot. It's like 187 degrees outside. The heat index is 190. It's stupid. I love it though.
Why? Why?
I don't know. Because when I think of, I do know, because it's the 1st of July. It is July the once, and it's hotter than Hades outside, which means there is a 0% chance of snow. And that in itself makes me very happy, because this guy, it's me, it's TBT. I hate snow.
Why? What's it ever done to you?
Because it sucks.
Except get you stuck in your driveway.
That's one.
Make you have to call someone to clear your driveway.
That's still the same one.
The wife has to miss work.
Yeah, I was okay.
Because of it.
We stayed warm. What?
I grew up here, as did you, in some capacity. I mean,
a couple years.
Yeah, so I grew up here. The heat, I'm used to it. As I get older, I don't like it as much. But I'm used to it. But it's not my favorite thing. It's not.
I'll take the heat any day.
I will take 46 degrees on a sunny December morning.
It's still not snowing. It's not going to snow in 46-degree weather.
Right. That's why I love December sometimes. It's perfect weather.
I cannot swim in the pool when it's 46 degrees. Well, I guess I can. I'm not going to.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy, did I bring up the wrong thing?
Man, that new pump we hooked up, leak. Massive leak. Yeah, oh yeah. We're starting from scratch almost. We got to get a new one. Got to get it hooked up. It's driving me nuts.
So it will be ready for you by the time it snows.
It's ready. I mean, we're swimming in it. We're using the pool. But we're having now to fill it all the time, just a little bit all the time. That water bill is going to be expensive.
Yes. As one of my friends, Carl, says, it ain't got no gas in it. So that's probably the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Real quick, I want to say hello to everybody that's in the chat. A lot of our regulars are in. Of course, Mrs. TBT is in. Swathy McFook is there. It's great to see her because she's missed a couple. I think she had spinal surgery and it replaced. What? It replaced. It was her knee. Oh, it was knee surgery. I believe it was knee replacement surgery. So she's either got a new knee or she now has 3. So, however it is.
What on the back?
Huh?
On the back of the knee. That's where you
No.
attach the third one.
Well, yeah, I thought it was on your back.
Oh.
Yeah, so you could kick your own ass. I don't know. I'm confused. Let me see who else. Pam's in there. Good to see you, Pam. I appreciate. She says being snowed in is not bad. You are right. Being snowed in is not bad. I just don't want to have to drive in it. I hate the snow.
Well, and I don't have to mow in snow.
I love mowing though. I'm doing that tomorrow. I love to mow.
Why?
Because I put on my headphones and I listen to badass music for 2.5 hours while I'm mowing, and I just love it.
I don't mind that, except it's 110.
Yeah. I can work on my tan. As I'm wearing SPF 100 so that I don't ruin the art.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We had a mutual friend with the real nice art all over the place, and that guy wouldn't wear short sleeves.
Right.
Ever.
It's an investment.
Some of these pieces, art pieces, they are.
I easily have
one
about
here.
$75 to $80 in mine.
That's in prison ink.
Right? Yes. Yes. Did I miss anybody in the chat? Oh, of course I did. Our moderators there. If you're in the chat, make sure you say hello to moderator Natalie. Yay. Clappity clap.
Yay.
Clap.
Hello.
Mind your P's and Q's, because as everybody knows, she will kick you right out. So welcome to everybody. If you're watching this and you're not in the chat and you haven't said hi, do it anyway. Say hi. You don't have to talk. I also put up a poll, and the poll that I put up was, were you a fan of Trixter? We have 67% that have said yes, which means that the other math said no. And it's over 50%. So that means over half of the people that are in there, 67%, said yes, they were a fan of Trixter. The reason I bring that up is because we've got some Trixter news. It's nothing major, but it's still something kind of cool to talk about.
Well, I like that you did a poll. That's cool.
Yeah. Next week's is going to be a more interesting poll. I don't know what it's going to be, but it will be. Do you want it to
we need... No.
Yeah, that won't be. Man, I tell you what, though, after missing last week, there's a lot of news to cover. There's a lot of stuff. There's actually some stuff that we have left out because we wanted to make sure we got this in. But this is not something that's going to be considered a pour of the week because I've not made contact with this band. But I do want to say that as I was scouring the world of the TikToks, because, that's what you do when you are looking for new music and interesting music, I came across a band. This is the band that I sent you one of their songs earlier today. And I believe it's called, I don't know, what is the name of the song? Did I send you a song or did I send you an album?
I thought it was an album, The Ascendants.
Okay.
By Art Nation.
Art Nation.
And it's a complete album.
Okay, there is a song.
I started with the first one, Set Me Free, and then I got on my float, and then my Bluetooth speaker died.
So in, I believe it was last year, the band is called Art Nation. They came out with a song that is called Thunderball, which I don't think I sent to you. I need to send you that one so you can give that a listen.
It's in the album. You sent me the whole album.
Even perfect. I didn't think that. I don't think it's in that album that I sent you.
It's right. Second song.
Really? I'm looking at a total different song then, or different album. Anyway, Art Nation, they're Swedish. So it's not Europe. And I just pushed play and I didn't mean to do that. So I need to stop that from playing. What a band. I followed a couple of their things on social media. I love their sound. If you like, excuse me, you like that '80s sound, that almost, you know, high pitch, gritty metal kind of, almost got a CJ Snare Firehouse sound to them. Sebastian Bach, that high pitch, very cool. I really like some of
Well,
their stuff.
that's what I noticed about the song before the speaker died was the vocal.
Right.
When he hit in, I don't know the singer's name, but when he hit the high notes, I sat up in my float and took notice before it tipped over.
Oh, that happens.
Yeah, really good vocal. And you say they're from Sweden, right?
I believe so. I'm double checking that now.
I love that Sweden has taken '80s metal and just reinvented it and or reestablished it because they have so many bands that play '80s style rock or
Right.
metal.
Yeah.
And if you want to kind of just dip into something you've never heard, like you can go back and, of course, listen to classics we all know. But if you want that same vibe and that same sound, uh, turn on some Swedish stuff like Wigwam. Was that who it was? Or
I
Wham
think it
Blam?
was.
Or
Yeah.
yeah, right. And um, I mean, there's a bunches of them, and they're so good.
Yeah. Art Nation is currently a three-piece band. They've had
Oh wow,
numerous former members, but if everything I can find right now, they are just a three-person, three-man band. Um, they've had over 30 million streams on Spotify. So if you have not listened to them, you're absolutely missing out. I am probably, if I can remember this and I can find one of them to put up, I'm going to throw up what was that one I called Thunderball. I'm going to throw that up on our socials after the show, just because it's a good song. It's a good rock. You know, it's in the summer. You're out tipping over on your float. It's something definitely worth taking note. Art Nation, and we'll post that a little bit later because I think it's worth it. It's very good. And I think we were talking about this 2 weeks ago. TikTok is just one of those coolest places ever to just uncover and find new music. I love it. I absolutely love it. Asava, 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 who I've talked about on this show before. They also
yeah.
have a new song out called Valhalla. It's another one absolutely worth checking out. And if you didn't know, if you are a follower of Keith Wallen, and know who he has recently released a cover of I'm With You, which everybody knows from Avril Lavigne.
Right.
Have you
That's
heard
pretty
that one?
cool. I've not heard that.
Oh, he does a number on it. Here in probably the past month, there's been a few different songs that have came out by bands doing remakes. I don't want to say remake, more like a cover.
Yeah.
Sleep Theory, a band that I absolutely love, just recently released a cover of Bye Bye Bye. Yes, that Bye Bye Bye. They rocked it up, only to follow it up later with a cover of My Heart. And for the life of me, I cannot remember who sang that. Um, I don't remember. But anyway, it's kind of one of those things that keep coming. These bands are remaking these songs, putting their own spin on it, their own groove. And so far, absolutely every single one of them have been fantastic. Whether or not you like the original, it's a different spin on it. Case in point comes from one of our stories tonight, our friend Cassandra Carson
Yeah.
and
I
the
thought you
Life
were going to go
Project.
there because of covers. Yeah.
Yes. The Life Project, we have been waiting and waiting and waiting for some new music to come out uh, from
We had
the
her
Life
on
Project.
last, what, about almost 2 years ago, right?
Right.
And she told us then in the interview on this show that they were working on new music, but there had been some issues. Um, I think even before that, there were stuff they were working on before the interview, but there were some issues. I think Josh had some things going on, Josh Rand, and so there were some delays, and they recorded tracks. But now we have this, right? This cover.
Yeah. So if you're new to this show and you've not listened and heard us talk about the L.I.F.E project, this is a magnificent collaboration between guitarist and songwriter Josh Rand, who of course is with Stone Sour, and the show's friend Cassandra Carson, of course from Paralandra, Cassandra's Crossing, because English is my second language. And they just unveiled this new song late last week. It's You Can't Bring Me Down.
It was Monday.
This song, yeah, that's right. It was Monday. This song was released in 1990 and is a remake of a song from Suicidal Tendencies. I cannot tell you how much I love this version.
I
Do
didn't know the
yourself a
original.
favor, and you have to listen to the original. You absolutely do. Number one, it's from Suicidal Tendencies, and it's it was released in 1990. That's a huge difference between now and then. And then go and listen to the one that was put out by the L.I.F.E project. You will not be disappointed. Um, the guitar work in this song is off the charts. Cassandra's vocals are just incredible, almost to the
As
point in a
always.
couple spots where it's just demonic. It's awesome. She does a phenomenal job. I cannot wait for more.
Yeah. I didn't know if Josh played guitar all through this, but that, like you said, the guitar work is phenomenal. It's
Yeah.
really good stuff. And what I like about Cassandra's vocal when she began, and we even pointed this out, there was all of these Lizzie Hale comparisons.
Oh, yeah.
Right, because she sounds a lot like Lizzie Hale, but the more I listen to Cassandra, the more I hear a distinctness in her voice and what she sounds like. It's not just a clone of Lizzie Hale. It is in the style of, but it's her own thing.
Right.
And we're hearing that more and more.
Yeah. She's gotten a lot of flack, from different people, different bands, just talking about, what she does. But man, she's all over the place. We know the stuff that she's worked on with Don Dokken and Josh Rand, and of course
George Lynch,
Paralandra,
not
or I'm
not
sorry,
Don
George
Dokken, but George
Lynch.
Lynch.
I'm mentioning Don Dokken because of the video I sent you earlier this week that I got from Pam, who's actually in our chat tonight. But that's a whole nother story. But anyway, I've already posted this. I think it was Monday we posted this on our socials. So definitely go check it out. You Can't Bring Me Down, a remake of a classic Suicidal Tendencies song put out by the L.I.F.E project, of course, featuring Josh Rand and Cassandra Carson. Whew, I got that out okay.
Yeah, we are getting hit with a lot of really good new stuff.
Yeah.
From established bands, not just new bands that you're finding on TikTok, but
right.
This L.I.F E project, the Evanescence record. I sent you the Pretty Reckless record that just came out. I'm sure you didn't have time to listen to it.
No, not
but,
yet.
But yeah, all this good stuff is coming all at once. It's so fun right now.
Well, and there's more coming. We've got some stuff coming this year from Marilyn Manson. There's more stuff coming from the Stones. Yeah. So it's crazy. And we'll go back to that Evanescence album that you sent. I've listened to that probably 3 times, if not 4. And it is just one that does not go wrong. It is a fantastic album.
So good.
And I mentioned this 2 or 3 weeks ago. The new album from Stitched Up Heart is also another one that is just absolutely phenomenal. If we get something full this year from the L.I.F E project, all of our selections for album of the year, we may have like 3 or 4. Just not being able to select just one, because this stuff coming out this year is just something. And don't forget, we've already mentioned it, but don't forget President is putting out their full entire album later this year too.
Finally.
So my gosh.
And
Anthrax. I mean, the list goes on.
Right, and then you have other bands that talk about not sure if they're going to be putting out full albums anymore. I just saw an article, I think, on Blabbermouth about Tesla. We're not sure if we're going to put out a full record. We're doing the singles right now, and that seems to work. And so it's whatever your flavor is, I guess, as a band.
Yeah.
But whatever it is, we're getting a lot of good stuff right now.
We definitely are, and I know this doesn't really fit with our genre of what we usually follow on music for this show, but 25 tracks are on this album, and if you haven't checked it out, you definitely need to. And that is the Great Impersonator that's been released from Halsey. That was just done, I want to say a month ago, maybe May, so about 2 months ago. I've listened to that, and that is a phenomenal album.
25 tracks?
25 tracks. Now, that could be because I'm looking at the deluxe version, because I can tell you right now that album never seemed to end. I could mow my yard twice and not make it through it. But yeah, what a great album. I think 2024, The Great Impersonator, she released. So I don't know if this is a
deluxe version,
just a deluxe version that was released, and maybe I should have listened 2 years ago. And if that's the case, then yeah, I absolutely should have listened 2 years ago. But this album is phenomenal as well.
Well, we're seeing a lot of that too, where bands are putting or performers are putting out lengthy records, double records, 18, 25, 30 tracks. Country music does this all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And Taylor Swift does it. And a lot of it has to do because, you may not get bangers every single time because it's 30 tracks. That's a lot of music. But what we're seeing is how they count streaming. And the more tracks you have on a record and the more social media presence you have, TikTok, that sort of thing,
sure,
people start pulling those tracks and downloading them or streaming them or whatever, and that starts counting toward your album sales and your status on the charts and things like that. That's why we see songs that aren't released as singles charting consistently because someone found them and they send it to their friends and everyone plays it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's almost a science to how you get on the charts, and it's not anything to do with A&R.
No. And we've actually got a couple stories that we're going to talk about in relation to the charts that are coming up here in just a few minutes. But as we talk about new music, we have a couple more that we can add to the list. One of which is Stryper, who have officially announced their new album, Throne of Thorns, which will be released September 25th. And they have also released the title track, Throne of Thorns. I'm glad everything wants to tongue twist me tonight. That's been released. This is the second single off of this album that's been released. The first one was something along the lines of "I'm okay, you're okay, we're all okay."
Yes, yes,
something like that. I'm all right. I'm okay. It's I'm all right, and then I'm okay in parentheses. But anyway, this will be released. What did I say? September 25th. There appears to be 11 tracks on this album. Listening to the first 2 tracks that they have released so far, this is classic Stryper. If you've ever listened to them in the past, this is, I mean, it's classic Stryper. Remember that they have someone in Perry Richardson, not taking anything away from Oz Fox, but Perry Richardson adding his part of the vocals as background vocals in for this, which he has for many years, obviously. Man, these first 2 tracks are just outstanding. This is going to be a very good album, and I'm looking forward to hearing the whole thing. Don't know if they're going to release any other singles between now and September. Good chance they will. Excuse me, especially with going on tour this month. Actually, I can say that now that we're in July. July 17th, they actually start off in Arlington, Texas, and they hit just a few days in July, just 3, all of which are in Texas. And then they're hitting a few in September, and then a lot more come October. So if you get a chance and you're out, go see them. If you are close to us in the central Indiana area, yeah, you won't get to see them because they're not going to be here. So they're all over the place, though. Just keep an eye out for them because it's good.
Stryper and or Michael Sweet just keep churning out quality music. They haven't stopped.
No.
One or the other. They just keep doing stuff, and
Well,
I like it.
Michael Sweet just released his latest solo album back in April. So that was just 3 months ago. Stryper, this is going to be, I read that this was going to be their 18th studio album.
Wow.
I was going through the list in my head and I came up with 15 or 16. So I've got to look it up or something because I think I'm missing it. But everything I've read is like, oh, it's their 18th studio album. I don't know what they're counting as a studio album, if they're counting EPs or live also or what. But I couldn't count 18. I couldn't
Now,
count 17.
this is a regular sequenced record, 11 tracks from Stryper.
Correct.
I can deal with that.
Yeah. There's
I'm not
not
overwhelmed
25.
with 30, 40 tracks.
Yeah. And I'll throw this out there about Stryper as well. If you ever get a chance to see them live, this is one of those bands to go see live. I've seen them 3 or 4 times, and it's just they consistently get better and better and better. The guitar work of Oz Fox and Michael Sweet, because they share guitar duties. My gosh, no wonder Michael Sweet constantly puts something out, whether it be solo or with Stryper. He's honestly, he's a genius. He's an absolute musical genius.
How old is Michael Sweet?
Do
we know?
5.
Well, the reason I ask is
I'm going to go 62.
Okay.
I was right. 62 years old.
Nice. The reason I say this or bring it up is I think the reason some of these guys keep going, A, he can still play, B, he can still sing, and I think they want to squeeze as much out of this as they can, before they die, essentially.
Sure.
There are people we've heard vocally that have aged and not aged well and maybe should hang it up. But if you could still do it and you're still bringing the people into the seats and that sort of thing, I'm all for you touring and putting out music.
Yeah.
I
Especially if
don't
it's
see.
still good.
Right.
And
right.
Gosh, their stuff's good. Even if whether you follow the message that Stryper puts in their music or not, that's irrelevant. It is absolutely solid, pure rock music. And yeah, they've had their differences. Go back and listen to Hell with the Devil from 1986 and listen to the difference between that and then In God We Trust, which was just a blazing hit again in 88 because of all the music that was coming out in the 80s. And then you get other stuff like Against the Law that was released in 1990. And
yeah, I like that record.
I liked it. There was a lot of people that didn't. A lot more people that didn't.
But why was it that way? Why was the record put out that way? This is post 80s metal. We're getting into the Nirvana wall, right?
Yeah, this is 1990. So it's right close to the end.
Right. So people were all trying different sounds. They were trying different looks. I think the messaging on that album is more ambiguous, right?
Absolutely.
If I'm right. Which a lot of people do. And maybe that was the criticism.
Sure.
But I liked that record. I thought it was a little more mainstream in the sense that it had an ambiguity to it. You didn't have to look at it as a religious type of thing. It could be anything.
Well, and that was the last one they put out for 15 years.
Right. Because so much crap came out of that record.
Yeah.
And where are you going to play by 1992? Where are you playing if you're Stryper? They're in the same boat as everyone else.
Yep.
Night Ranger included.
They did come back, though, in 2005 when they released Reborn. And I was blown away by that one when it came out. Because, again, it had been 15 years since they had something out. And so how ironic that you're making a comeback and you're going to call it Reborn. And it was a phenomenal album. That was their 6th one that they had. And if I'm looking at this list here, 2024, When We Were Kings. Gosh, I can't believe that was only 2 years ago, and we're already getting another album this year. Anyway, that was their 16th. So I don't think it's been 18 studio albums. I think this one coming out's their 17th. Michael Sweet has a very heavy presence on social media. So hopefully he watches this, and if I'm wrong, he'll let me know.
He'll tell you.
Yeah, he'll let us know. There was another little bit of news from a band that is going to be coming out with another album also. Interesting little tidbit is that they are going back to metal on their upcoming album. And I know you and I both were like, well, when were they actually metal to begin with? Maybe some of their earlier stuff that I've never heard. But Ugly Kid Joe is working on new music, and they are saying that with this new album, it is going back to metal. All of these songs reflect a heavier rock metal sound. So maybe it's not about them going back to metal, but they're taking the music.
Right. The music back to metal.
Yeah. That's exciting. 2022, was that the last album I think that they put out, Rad Wings of Destiny?
Correct.
So
October 2022.
I don't know if this is going to come out this year or next, but we're still looking at 4 or 5 years since we've had something from Ugly Kid Joe. So that's something to look forward to. It is a band that I enjoyed. It's a band that I love to listen to some of their stuff.
Man, I got worn out with that video. Everything About You on MTV.
Okay, except
I got
for that
so
one.
worn out. I got worn out with that one.
Yeah. But still, this is another one of those bands that we can say, hey, they're still doing something. And I think this one, what I was reading earlier is that this is going to have about 12 tracks, between 10 and 12 tracks on this album. So that's pretty cool. New music from Ugly Kid Joe. Yeah, that'll be pretty good. But you're right. Man, I'd be okay if I did not ever hear that song again.
They played the heck out of that on MTV.
Yeah. I think that's what killed MTV.
I don't know. I know Ugly Kid Joe does. They're very active and they tour a lot. And like you said, it's good that they're still out there doing something. And if they want to put out music and it's good, I'm all for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Another band, and this relates to the poll that I put up, where 67% of you said that you were a fan of Trixter. PJ Farley states that Trixter is doing just fine playing shows without half of the classic lineup.
That's every band.
Saying people seem to enjoy it. That is the reason I brought this up, because that's literally nothing new. And I don't know if this was something about them being asked this question. Oh, people get upset that you're, out there without the whole lineup. Hello, name me a band.
Right.
You name me 5 bands that are still going out there with every original member. You're not going to have it. Well, I mean, I can tell you one, but you're not going to have very many. So why is that news?
Right.
I love Trixter when they came out. They got a lot of flack because they were coming in right towards what 90,
No,
91.
they got a lot of flack because they are one of the groups that are pointed at as killing that era,
Right.
in some people's opinion.
Totally
Um,
unfair.
no, they're the talented group of guys. I saw them open for Kiss on the Revenge tour,
Yeah.
and yeah, they didn't quite fit that crowd, but they played well. They took it to the limit and played really well.
If I'm not mistaken, and I could very well be, weren't they like 17 and 18 years old when they broke out
Yes,
and put out
yeah,
that
they were
first
all
album?
they were all high school buddies,
Man,
from what I remember.
I spun that CD over and over and over when that came out. I liked it. I thought it was good. I was also a teenager at the time and could kind of relate. Man, that's kind of cool. I wish I could put out an album,
Yeah, right.
but here we are, albumless. Anyway, but yeah, so no date on anything new coming out from Trixter, but hopefully we get some new music. I think during that recent interview, PJ Farley and Steve Brown both were talking about how they have plenty of stuff for an album. And I think we've mentioned this maybe last year about, some new music from Trixter. So yeah, it would be nice. It would be very nice. I'd like to hear um, how things are going now, even though they have other things going on as well. Because Steve Brown has a Bon Jovi cover band. I don't even know if I call it.
Right.
It's more of a tribute band.
Tribute band.
Yeah, which
I've not
is
looked that up yet.
doing
I need to
phenomenal.
look it up because
Oh, you
I'd like to
totally
see what
do.
that sounds like.
Yeah. My recommendation: I'll send you some stuff on TikTok.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's all over TikTok. I've watched it and listened to some of it, and man, it's pretty cool because you
Yeah.
have plenty catalog to to choose from. So it's
Well,
really good.
the tribute band genre of rock music has just went off the charts. And it used to be just people that enjoyed a certain band and wanted to pay tribute to that band. It's not that anymore.
Yeah.
You have guys that are in established bands that are now in tribute bands as well. Joey Belladonna has a Journey tribute band, the singer for Anthrax, which he can totally sing that stuff. You just mentioned this Bon Jovi tribute. The original drummer, I think it's the original drummer for UFO, is in a UFO tribute band.
Right.
Which is so crazy because, in essence, you could call that UFO by the standard that Foreigner has set.
So if we end this podcast, not just this episode, if we end this podcast in its entirety and come back with a brand new podcast under the same name, we can call it a tribute to the Weekly Pour podcast.
That would be cool.
We
We could
would
tribute
switch
to ourselves. There you go. There is a Pink Floyd tribute band that is selling out arenas and amphitheaters. They played Red Rocks just a couple weeks ago, and they're excellent. Their name escapes me at the moment, but yeah, I mean this tribute band thing, and I think a lot of it harkens back to classic rock is so easy to access. It's so accessible, and also the fact that some of these bands you don't get to see again. You'll never see Pink Floyd again,
right?
But you can see a really good tribute act.
Yeah,
that brings out flying pigs and all that stuff.
Unlike Menudo, who you will always be able to see.
Well, because they're always a tribute.
Yes. One cool thing you were talking about wanting to check out how Steve Brown and this band sounds and all that.
Right.
He does have a crazy ability to sound just like John Bon Jovi in his prime.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
it's
awesome.
very well worth it. I wish they would come around here because I would love to go check out a show.
Probably 2 years ago, I sent you some video of Bon Jovi tributes that were well regarded.
Right.
and one guy had got the John Bon Jovi look down pretty well.
Yeah.
Post 80s. Another guy had got the vocal down pretty well, and there's a lot of those Bon Jovi tributes. But I'd love to hear this one, so send me some stuff.
I will, absolutely. The name of the tribute band is called Always Jovi. You can look them up on Facebook and I'm pretty sure TikTok. If you can't find them on TikTok, because I don't remember if they have one or not, look up Steve Brown. He's obviously the vocalist, and you might be surprised, pleasantly surprised at that. But very cool. Either way, check out both Always Jovi and, of course, Trixter. Hopefully we get some new stuff from them, but only time will tell.
Britt Floyd. Britt Floyd is who I was thinking of. Britt Floyd. Yeah. Britt Floyd.
Never
and
heard.
Yeah, it's one of it's one of the biggest Pink Floyd tributes. They bring a 12-person lineup with them. They have a tour so big they actually have 2 or 3 semis hauling their gear. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's crazy what these bands are doing. and to think in the mid to late 90s, I was seeing tribute bands come here to our town to a local bar.
Right.
And they were good, but that was the scene. That's what you did. You did little clubs and little bars, and that was it. Now we're seeing bands do arenas.
Well, look at Jason Bonham and the Led Zeppelin experience.
Correct. Right.
I have seen him 3 times, and I would go every single time he was around because it is phenomenal.
It is phenomenal. I saw them once, and they were opening for I forget who, but they were excellent.
Yeah.
And I saw them at Deer Creek in Noblesville, and that place holds 20, 30,000 people.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Speaking of new music, we have already talked about William Shatner. Over and over and over, we've talked about William Shatner because it's just really, really cool. Well, guess what? There's a little bit more news coming out of the William Shatner heavy metal camp. A couple weeks ago, it was reported that William Shatner is contemplating bringing his heavy metal all-star project to the stage for a groundbreaking live spectacle.
Spectacle.
Yeah, not my word. This is all because the report is that this is all because he cannot believe how this is coming together. And it just sounds incredible. Or whatever Shatner type word you would want to use.
Incredible.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I would have to go. I would go to see this in an intimate setting, and you wouldn't have to twist my arm for it. Mickey D, of course, who spent about like 35 years with Motorhead before he went to the Scorpions. He recently completed drum tracks for Shatner's explosive version of Living After Midnight from Judas Priest. And according to William Shatner, he needed pounding beats to make the music feel the way he feels it, adding that heavy metal should hit you in the chest and move your soul at the same time.
What is this going to sound like? How do you put all the pauses in a metal song that drives
the metal song
a hard beat? Right, living.
I don't
after midnight. No. How do you do that?
I don't know. We could do the entire episode like that, and we'd get one freaking story out in 60 minutes.
Fuck.
Oh, as the Viper said, he is out of his Vulcan mind. That was original, but he's not wrong. So yeah, we'll true. We'll keep an eye on that story.
Viper's a Romulan.
Oh, is that like nerds? I don't even know. Real quick, we got like 15 minutes left and still have a few stories to get through. One of the big things that happened a couple weeks ago, people may not realize just what kind of impact this guy had on the music industry. But we lost Clive Davis just a couple weeks ago on June 22nd at the age of 94. If you do not know who Clive Davis is, you must have been living under a rock in the music world for the last 50 some years. He was a titanic music mogul who helped launch bands such as Janis Joplin, Bruce Springsteen, Aerosmith, Whitney Houston, and more.
Billy
As a matter,
Joel.
yeah, Kiss. There's just so much that he was involved with. He was hired as an assistant legal counsel at Columbia Records, later becoming vice president and general manager, and in 1966, head of the newly launched CBS Records. Some of his other huge signings at CBS included Santana, of course, Springsteen, Chicago, Billy Joel, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and of course, Aerosmith, as I previously mentioned.
He had also a huge role in American Idol,
Right.
if you recall. And when Kelly Clarkson won the first season, he was instrumental in, for giving her the first single and forming, how that album
Right.
was going to come out.
Yeah.
So that was, later in his career, and he's still finding people.
Yep. After being fired from CBS in 1973, amid allegations of a label-wide payola scandal, Davis ended up founding Arista Records, where he continued to enjoy massive success. Of course, his signings there included Barry Manilow, Aretha Franklin, Dionne Warwick, Patti Smith, and perhaps most famously, Whitney freaking Houston. And he, of course, won I believe, a Grammy Award for the work that she did for the Bodyguard soundtrack, I believe. But yeah, he's had a phenomenal impact on music. And there were lots and lots of tributes coming in. But yeah, definitely someone whose mark will never be forgotten in the world of music.
Right, and not just in a rock vein, but in the pop world. Of course, several record companies. Did you see what his net worth is estimated at the time of his death?
No.
$850 million.
That's all?
That's insane. That's insane.
Yeah. Well, you got to think the royalties that he's continuously getting for life, because he was involved. And you don't sign people just because you think they're going to sound good. So yeah, big loss,
right, and yeah, definitely a big loss for the music industry, and he gave us a lot of stars.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And this is someone that was known to trust his instincts over data and things like that. Kenny Loggins was quoted as saying that he believed in me when others would only wait and see. And, Kenny had a pretty good career.
Yeah. So big thing. That was one of the main stories we were going to cover last week, but we went ahead and pulled that one over for this. So yeah, wow. Lots of stuff on him. You could spend easily a couple hours reading about his legacy in music. Speaking of having a legacy in music, when you have a song that suddenly climbs the charts 46 years after it hit number one, then there's got to be a good song out there. And that is exactly what happened just a couple weeks ago. After more than 4 decades after it helped launch somebody's solo career, that somebody being the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne, Crazy Train is still finding new life on the charts. A couple weeks ago, it actually re-entered the charts at number 9.
That's
Not
insane.
99, number 9. This latest appearance adds to an already remarkable run for one of rock's most enduring songs. Of course, this was released in 1980 on Ozzy's debut solo album, Blizzard of Oz, one of the best albums ever. And of course, featured Randy Rhoads in his instantly recognizable guitar riff. My gosh.
You know what I love about that record? Of course, top to bottom, it's just a great record. But you mentioned it came out in 1980. Think about that. Uh, it sounds to this day still amazing sonically.
Yeah.
Fresh. It sounds
It's like
amazing.
a Sprite. It's crisp.
Crisp.
Yeah.
Crisp. Yeah, right. The Randy Rhoads stuff still sounds unique and inventive, even though you've heard it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And same with I think Blizzard and Diary. Man, tough choice on those two.
Sure.
Diary still sounds fresh. Yeah, and Crazy Train. You hear it a million times. You hear it everywhere.
Yeah.
Even more so now since Ozzy's passing. And as overplayed as that song is, I'm not really tired of it yet, and I've heard it a lot.
Yeah, a lot. Crazy Train has now spent 246 non-consecutive weeks on the Hard Rock Digital Song Sales Chart and previously reached number 1, where it spent 3 weeks. No other Ozzy song comes close to matching that longevity on the ranking. So extremely impressive. However, that's not the only one that's made a return to the charts. This time, it is an album. Any guesses?
Which
I know you know. But more than 3 decades after it helped Metallica turn into one of the biggest bands in the world, the Black Album is still finding new listeners. A couple weeks ago, the band's self-titled 1991 album returned to 2 Billboard rankings, re-entering the top rock and alternative albums chart at number 47, while climbing to number 9 on the top hard rock albums chart. I can remember August 12th, 1991 like it was yesterday when that album was released and hit the shelves. I went to a midnight release.
Did you
So that I
really?
could get it. Yes, I had to. Because I had to
When
have this album.
when it came out, obviously you were excited, but were you already a hardcore Metallica fan?
Yes.
So you weren't concerned about any change in the sound of the band when this came out?
I didn't
Because
care. And when this came out and I heard it, I wasn't pissed either. If you've listened
yeah,
to Master of Puppets and from Master of Puppets, and then you go to Injustice for All, and you've got these 42-minute songs, it seems like, and then you get something that is more commercially attractive. I didn't care. I thought every one of those songs were badass and rocked just as much as the others. I didn't care.
I was the target audience for that album because I was not a Metallica fan in any way, shape, or form. I had just barely heard of them when that album came out, and when I heard it, it was a breath of fresh air for me.
Right.
Especially at the time it came out. You said 91. Again, we're talking about the Great Wall of Nirvana, coming down, and we're leaving that glam metal period, and here comes Metallica with this hard rock record that just kicks your ass. Much in the similar vein that GNR, when it came out with Appetite for Destruction, was a breath of fresh air for the metal scene. This really was, and I was the audience that they were shooting for. Me and 800 million others.
Exactly. The Black Album has now spent 547 weeks at Billboard's top hard rock albums chart and 466 weeks on the top rock and alternative albums ranking. It previously reached number one on both charts and remains one of the most successful catalog albums ever released. Remember that back in 2025, it was certified 2 times diamond by the Recording Industry Association of America, signifying more than 20 million copies sold in the United States. Worldwide, it has sold more than 30 million copies, placing it among the best-selling albums in music history. Our last and quick story for this evening to fill the last 4.5 minutes. Boy, Motley Crue just gets into it with everybody. This time, though, it seems like Shannon Larkin, yes, that's Shannon Larkin, the former drummer for Godsmack, opened his mouth and said a few things that, well, Nikki Sixx didn't quite like, I guess is to put it nicely. In an interview, Shannon Larkin, I'm gonna give us the shortened version of this. Larkin basically said, "Yeah, we don't like backing tracks." We're back to that story again. No backing tracks or anything like that. Kind of like when Nikki Sixx is playing and he turns his head, but you can still hear him singing. Well, Nikki Sixx got word about that and basically was like, "Yeah, I don't even know who Shannon Larkin is." And then
I always love it when they do that.
Yeah, and then made a comment about it's funny how many B and C level bands seem to spend more time talking about us than writing songs people actually remember. He continued on with some other stuff, blah, blah, blah. Well, today, in I guess a new report, Shannon Larkin has basically come out and said, "Whoa, I am sorry." Using those words, "I apologize," because he was not trying to throw shade at Nikki Sixx. He was just throwing shade at people who use backing tracks like Nikki Sixx or
Right.
something
So
like that. Um,
it came out wrong. It's not what I wanted to say. I wanted to say I just don't like it when Motley Crue uses backing tracks.
Yeah, I didn't mean to call you out. He has this whole thing that he put out on his social media is about talking about it. He said he wasn't trying to get publicity, and I mean, you're Nikki Sixx. I don't need this publicity, and you don't, and blah blah blah. And I don't like beefs. I don't beefs suck, and I don't want to be in a beef. And I don't like backing tracks
Where,
either.
where is the beef?
We're back to the 80s again. I don't know. He basically opened his mouth, stuck his foot in, and now he's backtracking a little bit. Kudos, though, for coming out and saying, "Look, I'm sorry. My
Well,
apologies. I didn't mean to call you out. I wasn't trying to start nothing, but whatever."
Nikki Sixx, for whatever you think of Motley Crue and tracks and all that, Nikki Sixx is not one to take anything lying down,
Right.
and he's going to push back on anything like that. I mean, he
Well,
just is.
you're right, but this is also, I guarantee that Nikki Sixx knew exactly who Shannon Larkin was because
Oh
it's
yeah,
been reported for years that Sully Erna wrote the Godsmack song Crying Like a Bitch about Nikki Sixx after him and Nikki Sixx clashed during the 2009 Crew Fest tour. Actually, that was Crew Fest 2. The Crew Fest 2 tour, which Godsmack, of course, was a support act and Crew was the headliner. So I don't know, but I tell you what, that next Motley Crue tour, having Godsmack open, I'm paying to see it.
right. That'd be worth the money.
Yeah, that would be good. I'd do it. But yeah, who knows? And you know how stories go. Um, yeah. But if you do want to hear a good song, definitely listen to Godsmack "Crying Like a Bitch." Very good song. Sully
Excellent
Erna's
song.
just got one of those voices that's badass. But anyway, that's our show for the night. We appreciate you guys coming and spending your time with us, even though we weren't here last week because of stuff. We won't do that next week. At least we hope.
We hope.
That's us knocking on wood. I want to thank everybody that jumped into the chat and said some stuff. Even the Viper who stopped by for us. I'm glad he could stop in for the last 15 minutes. Backstage Recordings, good to see you back in. We appreciate you being here once again. Remember, the Weekly Pour podcast is brought to you by Petty's Poor Decisions. I did not wear their shirt because, I had to wear a Steel Panther shirt tonight. But be sure to check out Petty's Poor Decisions on social media. They've got a TikTok and a Facebook page as well. They are your mobile bar service doing all kinds of cool stuff in lots of different places. So check them out. There's a button here I'm supposed to push, and we'll see you guys next week.